Social media is spreading the narcissistic personality disorder. I will say that it's breeding grounds. Social media is breeding grounds because of the way it's designed. It's breeding narcissism by design, by getting people used to developing the craving for likes and for attention. These social media platforms are created by design to get you addicted to them, and you get addicted to that online virtual attention, that virtual love that's not even real. Welcome back, my friendly warriors, to the Psychopath Exposure Show. I'm your host, Kira, and today, as promised, I'm reading the reply that somebody left on a comment from a video that I made last. I will be linking that video in the description, or you could also click up here to see the first part of this video. It's an interesting reply because there's a lot of stuff going on that I'd like to address that I know many of you in this anti-narcissist community are going through and constantly ask yourselves. So this response came from B-I-E-I-O McDonald. Interesting. She goes, "It's over and it's been a while for you. Why do you still think about him? I'm thinking about someone I should not be thinking on also. I just have to allow myself to be open to someone new and forget this. But new could also be the same person with different eyes. I'm affected by this pain in my heart, and I really should just move on the right way. But I haven't. I see narcissism in everyone now. Even myself. I'm pissed about how I got played, but why did I allow it? And how do I never let it happen again? Sex is magical, but with the wrong person, it is soul-sucking. I've lost faith in men since this, and whatever fantasy I had is dead. I mourn my investment and expect another narcissist to introduce themselves soon, because they do like finer things. And that means you must be a beautiful person too." So thanks for that, E-I-E-I-O McDonald. There's a lot to cover in that comment reply, but thanks for sending that in. Well, let's go step by step here. Yeah, it's over and it's been over. I think we can all say that about our toxic entanglement with a narcissist or a psychopathic predator. It's been over for a while. We just didn't accept it. We were in a dark bubble. We were being gaslighted. I always mess that one up. We were manipulated. We were lied to. We thought our partners were faithful. We thought our partners were loyal. We thought our partners had our best interests. We gave them the benefit of the doubt. We doubled down on the relationship. Right? But it happened. And it was over a long time ago. It was over the moment you started questioning their loyalty. It was over the moment they were talking to you about somebody else. It was over the moment you were suspecting infidelity. It was over a long time ago, but that doesn't change the fact that we stayed and we put up with it just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer to get burned again and get burned again time and time again, hoping that things would change. You're right. We do have to allow ourselves to be open to someone new and forget this. I mean, that's a given, but it's easier said than done. You know, that's why you're still struggling with this. You know what needs to be done, but somehow you can't do it. And you're afraid that the same person with different eyes will come. And let me tell you, if it's not just different eyes, There's going to be a lot of differences, but a lot of it will be the same if you do indeed attract another narcissist or a narcissistic psychopath. But you have to be careful what you're afraid of, and you have to be careful of your expectations. If you expect something, as you said at the end of the comment, that you're expecting another narcissist to introduce himself soon, I'm sorry to say, but that's exactly what you're going to get. Okay? We get what we think about most of the time, and we have to be extra careful with what we entertain in our thoughts. We have to monitor our thoughts. We have to get in there and do the work, do the meditations to be able to notice when you're going down a rabbit hole, when you're going down a path of intrusive, unwanted thoughts that create emotions that you don't like, that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you feel unsafe. Because, as the saying goes, thought, feeling, manifestation, that's how you get the things that you get in this life. It all starts with a thought. Thoughts are energy, and those thoughts trigger emotions. And once you have a thought and you're feeling that emotion as if it's really happening, it's only a matter of time until it becomes reality. So be careful. Be careful if you're constantly entertaining thoughts that whoever you meet moving forward in the dating world is going to be another narcissist, because chances are that's exactly what you're going to get then. You do have to be open to something new, someone new, a fresh new experience without fear. You can't let fear govern your life. You can't go throughout your day living in fear, in a constant fear, in a constant high cortisol, stressful fight or flight mode, because then you're never going to move on. You have to be able to let go of this fear and trust that something good is coming for you. Something good probably has already been manifested for you. All you have to do is let go of this obsession of the narcissist, of thinking about the narcissist, of beating yourself up as to why you put up with it, why you can't forget about it, why you can't move on. You have to put that stick down and make space in your life, make room for those good things that are waiting for you. Because this was a nasty situation. And when it ended for a reason. It ended because it was not supposed to be for you. It was only there temporarily, maybe to get your attention. Maybe it was something you needed to learn from this. Maybe it was some sort of karmic debt. I don't know. But it's over now. And now good things are coming if you're open to them. But you can't have one foot in and one foot out. You can't want something good and at the same time expect something bad. They're going to cancel each other out, or the expectation of something bad is going to overpower that, and that's exactly what you're going to get. So be careful with what you entertain in your thoughts. I do want to say, when you mention that you see narcissism everywhere, look, I do believe that narcissism is growing in this society. Social media is spreading the narcissistic personality disorder. I will say that it's breeding grounds. Social media is breeding grounds because of the way it's designed. It's breeding narcissism by design, by getting people used to and developing the craving for likes and for comments and for attention. These social media platforms are created by design to get you addicted to them, and you get addicted to that online virtual attention, that virtual love that's not even real. You have to understand how many times people are just flicking through their phone and just double clicking, double tapping, liking. It doesn't mean anything. Some people are just like triggers, right? They just trigger happy. In other words, they just double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. It doesn't really mean that you're special. But yet, the studies, the science, the research has been done. These platforms are designed to get their users addicted and to keep you on the app, because the longer they keep you on the app, the more attention you give to it, that's less attention and less time you spend on other apps. So they're gonna make more money. So it's all done by design. So you do see narcissism everywhere because of that. You're noticing it now. But let me tell you two things. Number one, you just went through a narcissistic toxic experience, and you've educated yourself, you're learning about this, so it's constantly in your mind now, so you're aware of it. And anytime we become aware of something and we have a lot of passion for it, the brain's reticular activation system opens up to spotting and noticing those things more. Haven't you realized in the past, maybe when you buy a new car, and it's a car that you had never seen before, and you saw it at the lot, and you're like, wow, this is cool, nobody has this car, I'm gonna be unique, I like it, this is, yeah, and you're happy with your purchase, and suddenly you drive off the lot, and you see like 5, 10, 20 more throughout the day, and you're like, where were these vehicles before? How come I never saw them before? That happened to me twice with two cars that I purchased throughout my lifetime. I thought it was the cool one that was only gonna have that car. And all of a sudden, as soon as I pulled out of the lot, I was like, there's one, there's another, what the hell? It's a reticular activation system. The truth is, those cars were always there. It's just that you didn't notice them because you weren't looking for them, and your brain hadn't recognized them before. It was information that wasn't necessary for your survival at the time. So it becomes background noise. You don't even notice it. Now that you're aware of narcissistic personality disorder, now that you're aware of narcissistic predators, psychopaths, sociopaths, you're aware of the cluster B disorder, you're aware of these people, these individuals, you're easily going to notice behaviors, patterns of behaviors that match the narcissism. You're going to spot it in your friends. You're going to spot it in your family. You're going to spot it in your coworkers. You're going to spot it in your friends' husbands or wives. And you're going to be telling them, hey, you're dating a narcissist. Your husband is a narcissist. That explains everything, because you're going to see things that you hadn't seen before, right? But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden 100% of the population is a full-blown narcissistic predator. That's not true whatsoever. It's just that your brain is conditioned to finding and recognizing these red flags now, right? You're in a state of hypervigilance. Your brain wants to protect you. It wants to make sure that this doesn't happen to you again. But at the same time, on the same token, that's the good news. The good news is that you're aware of these patterns. You're aware of this type of manipulation. You're aware of this type of abuse. You're aware of this type of control. So if you end up dating another narcissist, you will spot those red flags, the real red flags, and you will know how to navigate that situation, how to nip it in the bud, how to call it out, how to terminate it immediately before you get involved deeper. You'll be able to recognize those things. You'll be able to recognize when they're talking to you about some crazy ex, and yet they're the ones that are displaying those toxic patterns of behaviors. You're going to recognize when the narcissist is projecting. You're going to recognize when they're creating a smear campaign about their ex, and they're going all about it, and creating fake profiles and spreading rumors. And you're going to ask yourself, like, why are you going through such trouble to smear their name rather than rejoicing that you got out of that toxic entanglement and you're dating someone new that's not a monster? Why aren't we focusing on this? Why are you still so obsessed with your ex? And that's when you're going to notice, hey, wait a second. Maybe you're the narcissist, right? You're going to notice things like that, and then you'll be able to get out of the situation before it turns into something bigger that, you know, unfortunately, maybe you become trauma bonded to them, and then it's going to be harder to get out again. But you can't live your life in fear, worried that, oh, a new narcissist is about to introduce themselves soon, and they like the finer things and this and the other. I mean, who doesn't like the finer things? Who doesn't like nice things? Everybody likes nice things. That doesn't mean that they're narcissists. That doesn't mean that everybody that wants to date you, wants to be in your life, is after your money or after your things. All right, some people just gravitate towards the same things. I mean, I think we're all like we're all magnets. We attract those things that we love, right? So look, it's hard at the beginning. I can tell you I was very hypervigilant myself too. But over time, that starts to mitigate, and you start to get more life experiences, and you date a few people, you make new friends, you make new business partnerships, you know, and as you get the experience of weeding out the bad ones and the toxic ones and being able to separate yourselves from the predators and to, you know, to cut those things out, and you'll start looking at the world in a much more optimistic way. And once you start looking at the world with more optimism, you're going to see, I guess, optimistic, positive trends. Your brain's reticular activation system is going to start noticing the good things rather than all the horror stories and all the bad things and all the monsters and all the infidelity. You're going to start seeing, oh, wow, like the world is beautiful, life is beautiful, people are great. And you're going to attract more of that. But in order to get there, it takes a lot of work because you've been conditioned to this darkness for a while. You've been under this spell for a long time. You've been dealing with somebody that you trusted that betrayed you. And that's not something that you just get over overnight. You just don't flip a switch and you're over it. It takes a lot of work to get through that. Something else you said, sex is magical, but with the wrong person, it's soul-sucking. And it's like, that's true for everything. Everything and anything and everything with the wrong person is soul-sucking. Dinner with the wrong person, a conversation with the wrong person leaves you drained at the end of that conversation. It's like, where did all my energy go? I was just having a 30-minute conversation with this person, and as soon as they finally got off the phone, I was like completely drained. It's like, what happens? And then you start realizing, man, every time I talk to them, every time it's like they're an energy vampire. This is just a conversation. So yeah, definitely you have sex with the wrong person and it's gonna drain you. You're gonna become trauma bonded, sexually trauma bonded. There's all sorts of stuff that happens. You have to be careful who you allow into your home, into your bed, into your social circle, into your mind. You have to be careful with those things. Before you went through a situation like this, you were probably more trustworthy, or trusting. You were more trusting, excuse me. Now you realize that trust is earned and you can't just give it away. And these are valuable lessons. It's great to be able to learn lessons like this, no matter where you are at the stage of your life. It doesn't matter when, as long as you learn these lessons. These are powerful life lessons. Look, I don't think that you allowed it because of anything on your part. You remember, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're manipulated, you were under a spell, you were being lied to. We put up with a lot of stuff. All right, we put up with a lot of stuff. We think that everybody has our best interest, and then later on, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20, and you look back and you're like, oh wow, why did I let this happen? Why did I put up with this for so long? Well, you were doing the best you could at the time with the level of awareness that you had at that particular moment. If this were to happen to you again, I can almost guarantee things aren't going to go the same way. At least if you've been doing your homework, it's not going to go the same way. You're not going to let it happen again. But you can't change the past. Everybody, whether we've been through a narcissist, psychopathic relationship, we all have been through shit. And we've all learned from it. That's how you learn. You got to go through shit. So, is there any value in beating ourselves up because of the past? Is there any value in just continuing to live in fear? There really isn't, you know? And the more you recognize that, the easier it's going to be over time to accept that as a reality. Just because I tell you right now, hey, it doesn't make any logical sense to focus on the fear and beat yourself up, that doesn't mean that you're just gonna snap your finger and say, oh, you're right, Kita, that's it, I'm cured, I'm happy. Well, obviously that would be a delusion. But the more you can plant these seeds of good faith in your mind every single hour, every single day, every week, right? You continue planting these seeds, eventually it's going to be automatic for your brain to recognize, hey, wait a second. Why am I even thinking about this? I don't enjoy talking about this. I don't enjoy thinking about this. Look at me going into a rabbit hole in my mind, ruminating over something that's been gone, been over, haven't spoken to them in years. Why am I still thinking about this? And it'll happen automatically. And your mind will just shift into something that actually brings you value, that brings you joy, that makes you smile. But you have to condition yourself to those things. The same way you were brainwashed and conditioned into focusing on the dark side and on the trauma and on the stress and on the anxiety. That became a pattern, right? It was all the time, every day, until it became second nature to just constantly ruminate. Well, the same thing has to be done now, but in reverse. That's how this works. That's how anything works. It's the same energy, it's the same strategy. Just gonna have to put in the work in reverse now. Get yourself conditioned to thinking good thoughts. Get yourself conditioned to enjoying things that bring you value, rather than wasting all that time and energy hyper-focused on the traumatic narcissistic experience from the past that, as he said at the beginning of the comment, it's over. It's been over for a while, right? So let's put those things down and get back into the present and start thinking about the things that you really want out of life, the things that you want to enjoy and experience. And by design, those things will start coming into your life. All right? So again, if you want to see the first part of this video, I have the video linked up here, and it will also be in the description of the video below. If you guys can share, like the video, it'll help spread the message across throughout the community. But most importantly, I am curious, are you guys worried of meeting another narcissist? Like, now that you're out of the situation, how many of you guys actually are afraid to go back into the dating scene, or afraid to entertain a new romantic interest out of fear that they may be another narcissist in disguise? You know, leave me a comment below the video. I'm curious to see how many people are living in that fear, and I'll see if I can focus on making some more videos about that in the future. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. My name is Kita, and this is Psychopath Exposure. Remember, I do have a private one-on-one coaching program for those of you that are still stuck in the narcissistic entanglement, in the dark web, and don't know what to do, what moves to take, what's your next move to get out of the situation, and nobody understands you, nobody's helping you. Just reach out, click the link that I have below in the description for more information on my private coaching program. I work with hundreds of survivors, and I would love to work with you. I would love to help you get out of this, because there's a lot more out of life. There's a lot more life to live, amazing things to experience, right? And it'll be a shame to let all those things pass you by. So click on the link below for more information, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong and make it a good one. Peace.